Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is basic mathematics required for physics. I know many number of students who are facing difficulties for doing the numericals in physics due to the lack of knowledge in mathematics, and some other students are there who opt a stream without mathematics also. So this video will be helpful for such type of students. Please watch this video till the end without skipping. It will be useful for you. So without any further delay, we can get into the chapter. It's me, Shiaz Mohammed. In this video, mainly I'm focusing on differentiation and integration. Actually, what is called differentiation and integration? In a simple manner, we can explain. For example, if there is an apple in my hand, okay, if I split this apple into different pieces, that splitting of a function into a small pieces are called a differentiation. Okay, again that splitted portion I rejoin together and combine to form as a single apple again, then that is called integration. Integrating the smaller pieces into the original one, that is called integration. By the definition, we can explain that differentiation is the instantaneous rate of change of a function, and integration gives us the area under a graph. In physics, there are many numericals related to differentiation and integration. We'll discuss the basic and fundamental formulas required for physics. And also, integration and differentiation are just opposite to each other, or we can call it as an inverse function. For example, we know that addition and subtraction are inverse function or opposite to each other. We can give an example. We know that 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, which means that if we add 1 with 2, we are getting 3. Just reverse process we can do. 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. So if we are subtracting 3 minus 2, we are getting the same number again, 1, which means that the addition and subtraction are just inverse process. Same like multiplication and division. We know that 2 into 3 is equal to 6. We can do the reverse process. 6 divided by 3 is equal to, again we are getting the same 2 again. Okay, so same like integration and differentiations are also inverse function. If we are differentiating a function, we are getting an answer. That answer, if we are integrating again, we are getting the same function. So same like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, integration and differentiation are inverse process. So next we can discuss the uses of differentiation and integration in physics, where we are using these two terms in physics. For example, suppose a car is moving. The car had traveled at 10 meter for the 2 seconds. So the distance covered by the car is 10 meter and it took 2 seconds for completing the 10 meter. Suppose I want to find the speed of the car. So we know that the speed is equal to distance divided by time. So here 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5 meter per second. So the speed of the car for the whole journey is 5 meter per second. So that's a very easy process. Next, I want to find the instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed means the speed at a particular point. So the speed at a particular point I want to find. If a student want to find instantaneous speed, the distance will be given in the form of a function. If we differentiate that function, if we differentiate the distance, we will get speed. Okay, in that case, differentiation is required. So that is a one example for the application of differentiation in case of physics. And application of integration. We know that, for example, a force displacement graph is there. Here a variable force we applied. Here a force displacement graph is there and the force is a variable. And we already studied in physics that the area under a force displacement graph is work done. The area under the force displacement graph is work done. So I want to find the area under the force displacement graph for finding the work done. So the better way is that integration, because we already studied integration means the area under a graph. So if we are integrating from one point to another point, we will get the area. Simultaneously, we will get the work done. Now we can study how to differentiate a function. We are not discussing the whole function, but some particular function which will be always useful in physics. That some particular functions only we are discussing. The very important function which are required for physics are these functions. The first one is derivative of a constant d by dx, which means that with respect to x, derivative of a constant will be always 0. Derivative of x to the power n is equal to n x raised to n minus 1. Derivative of x is equal to 1. Derivative of root x is equal to 1 divided by 2 root x. Derivative of log x is equal to 1 by x. Derivative of sin x is equal to cos x. Derivative of cos x is equal to minus sin x. So we can discuss one by one. So derivative of a constant is equal to 0. For example, derivative of a constant 4, because 4 is a constant. For example, if I want to differentiate 4, then the derivative will be 0. Another example, derivative of a constant a will be is equal to 0. So for every constant, the derivative will be equal to 0. Now the second and very important is that derivative of x to the power n is equal to n x raised to n minus 1, which means that this power we want to write in the left side and subtract 1 from the power, n x to the power n minus 1. We can do some example. Derivative of x square. So derivative of x square is equal to, so this power is n here. So n equal to 2. That 2 we will write here and we will subtract 1 from this 2. So 2x raised to 2 minus 1. So we know that 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So the answer will be 2x. So derivative of x square is equal to 2x. One more example. Derivative of x to the power 4 is equal to, so this 4 we will write in the left and we will subtract 1 from the power. So it is equal to 4 minus 1. The 4 minus 1 is 3. So the derivative of x to the power 4 is equal to 4x cube. One more example. Derivative of x. We know that simply x means it will be x to the power 1. So here power is 1. That 1 we will write in the left into x raised to 1 minus 1, because here power is 1. So we will subtract 1 from that power. So which is equal to x to the power 1 minus 1 is 0. So what is x to the power 0? We already studied in mathematics. Any number to the power 0 will be equal to 1. Any number raised to 0 will be equal to 1. For example, 2 raised to 0 is equal to 1. 10 to the power 0 is equal to 1. So here x to the power 0 is equal to 1. That's why here we are getting derivative of x is equal to 1. So this formula we are getting from the basic formula. Derivative of x to the power n is equal to nx raised to n minus 1. This formula also we are getting from here. We can look that also. Derivative of root x. So next we want to find derivative of root x. In mathematics we know that root x we can write x to the power 1 by 2. So keep in mind this one, root x will be always equal to x to the power 1 by 2. So here for the next step we can write derivative of, instead of root x I can write x to the power 1 by 2. So which is equal to, so here power is 1 by 2. So this 1 by 2 will write in the left side. So here 1 by 2 into x to the power. So we'll subtract 1 from the power. So 1 by 2 minus 1. So which is equal to 1 by 2 into x to the power. 1 by 2 minus 1 is minus 1 by 2. So here it is minus 1 by 2. Which is equal to 1 by 2. We know that 1 by 2 means it is root. Here negative is there. So it will go to denominator. So it is 1 by 2 root x. So that's why here we are writing derivative of root x is equal to 1 by 2 root x. So these two functions we are getting from this one. Next we want to by heart that derivative of log x is 1 by x. Derivative of sin x is equal to cos x. And derivative of cos x is equal to minus sin x. These are the very important formulas which usually we are using in physics. There are many other formulas also, but basically we are using these formulas in majority of the chapters. For example, I want to differentiate this function 2x square plus x to the power 4 minus 4. So we know that here 2 is a constant along with the function. So 2 constant will write as such. then we know that, and one thing you keep in mind, if constant is alone only, the differentiation will be 0. Here constant is not alone. Along with the constant, one variable is there. So 2 is a constant, so we left as such. Then we know that it is same like x to the power n. So it will be n x raised to n minus 1. So it will be 2 x raised to 1. Plus x raised to 4 means it will be 4 x cube, and here 4 is a constant, so it will be minus 0. So the answer will be 2 into 2 is 4, 4x plus 4x cube. Our next topic is integration. So now we can look how we can integrate a function. Already we discussed that integration and differentiation are just inverse process. Now these are the important function which we are using in physics. So first of all, integral x to the power n is equal to x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 plus c. For integral always we are giving a constant plus c. So integral x raised to n is equal to x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So next one, integral root x dx is equal to 2 by 3 x raised to 3 by 2. Integral of a constant is equal to cx plus c. Integral 1 with respect to x is equal to x. Integral sin x dx is equal to minus cos x. Integral cos x is equal to sin x. And integral of 1 by x dx is equal to log x. So we can look one by one. First of all, integral x raised to n is equal to x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. We can look some examples. Integral x cube. So x cube is equal to, so here for the power we want to add 1, and that number same power we want to write in the denominator also. So here x cube, so here integral x cube is equal to x raised to 3 plus 1 divided by 3 plus 1, which is equal to, here 3 plus 1 is 4, so here x to the power 4 divided by 4 plus c. So this is the integral x cube is equal to x to the power 4 divided by 4 plus c. So same like we can write integral x to the power 4 is equal to x raised to 5 divided by 5 plus c. Now integral root x dx. We know that root x we can write as x to the power 1 by 2, which is equal to x to the power 1 by 2 plus 1 divided by 1 by 2 plus 1. 1 by 2 plus 1 is 3 by 2. So x to the power 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2. So this 2 will go to numerator. So the final answer is 2 by 3 x to the power 3 by 2 plus c. So that's why here we are getting integral root x dx is equal to 2 by 3 x to the power 3 by 2. Now the very important is that integral 1 dx is equal to x, because we already studied that integration and differentiation are inverse process. We know that derivative of x is equal to 1. So integral 1 will be x. So it is an inverse process. So it is very easy to understand derivative of x is equal to 1. Therefore integral 1 is x. Now we can look what is integral of a constant. So suppose integral of a constant 2 I want to find with respect to x. So we can write 2 as 2 into 1 into dx, because if any number, if we multiply it by 1, we will get the same number. So integral 2 I can write 2 into 1 dx, which is equal to, and keep in mind that here I am integrating with respect to x. So here I can write 2 is a constant. So constant I am writing like as such, and 1, integral 1. We know that integral 1 is x if it is with respect to x. So we can write here x plus c. One more example, if I want to integrate a constant a with respect to x, then it is equal to, a is a constant. So a, I can write a into 1 dx, which is equal to, a is a constant, so I am writing as such. Here 1 is there. We know that integral 1 is x. So we can write x plus c. So it is ax plus c. Now these are very easy because we already studied derivative of cos x is minus sin x. Therefore integral sin x is minus cos x. Integral cos x is sin x. And we studied that derivative of log x is 1 by x. Therefore integral 1 by x will be log x. Now we can do some questions related to this one. Now we can do some example problem. So the question is that integral 3x square plus 4 dx. So here we can write this one, 3 is a constant, so I am writing 3 as such. We know that this is same like x to the power n, so it will be x to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So here it will be x cube divided by 3 plus 4 means it will be 4 into 1. So 4 we can write as such, and we know that integral 1 will be x if it is with respect to x. And we want to write the plus c. So this 3 and 3 we can cancel each other. So the final answer will be x cube plus 4x plus c. Actually, there are two types of integration are there, definite integral and indefinite integral. Till now, we discussed the indefinite integral because here for the integral, there is no limit is there. Here it is called lower limit and here it is called upper limit. So here no limit is there. That's why these are called indefinite integral. Now we can do some example for definite integral. So it will be the integration is same. For the definite integration also, the integration is same. For the final step, a small change is there. We want to subtract the upper limit from the lower limit. We can do one example. So for example, integral 0 to 2 4x square plus 3x dx. So here it is definite integral because here lower limit is 0 and upper limit is 2. So here limits are there, therefore these are called definite integral. So first of all we can integrate as such, same process we can integrate. So here 4 is a constant, so 4 we are writing. X square is there, so integral will be x cube divided by 3 plus 3. So we know that x means x to the power 1, so it will be x to the power 2 divided by 2. And finally we want to give the limit. So here lower limit is, now our integration is completed. Now we want to give the value of limit. Lower limit is 0, upper limit is 2. Now what we are doing means for all the variable, here variable is x, here also variable is x. For all the variable we are giving the upper limit minus, then we are giving the lower limit. So here it is equal to 4 by 3. Here x is the variable, so I am giving first, first I am giving the upper limit 2. So it is 2 cube plus 3 by 2 into, here also I am giving the upper limit 2 square. So upper limit completed minus I am giving the lower limit. Here lower limit is 0. If I am giving here 0 means it becomes 0. Here also 0 square means it becomes 0. So it becomes 0. So our final answer will be 4 by 3 into 2 cube means 2 into 2 into 2. So it will be 8 plus 3 by 2 into 4. Okay, if I am simplifying this one, I will get the answer.